And good evening, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Welcome to episode 227 of Wise Advice. I'll give you just a minute here to get in, get settled. We'll walk through a quick little walkthrough of, hey, how are you? Checking in. How's everybody doing? And then in about 10 minutes or so from now, we will record episode 227 live. Always a pleasure to have you hanging out with me here this evening. Looks like KMH checks in first on Instagram. Good evening to you. Jan is here. Good evening to you. Liz Beth Ann is here. Good evening to you. Jan checks in over on Facebook. Good evening. Laura checks in. Very cool. Marie is here as well. Very nice. Welcome. Lee, always a pleasure to see you. Fun. Jeff from North Dakota. Jeff, haven't seen you in a while. Very cool. Alice from Phoenix, it was great chatting with you this afternoon. Maggie's here. Good evening. Let's see. Colby is here. Hey. Looks like it's been a while since you and I've chatted as well. Right? Very fun. Bev says, hey, Mike, how are you tonight? I'm doing great tonight. I'll go into a little more detail on that in a little bit. But no, I'm really, everything's fantastic. It's been a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I had 3 record nights of sleep. I started prioritizing sleep in this journey for me because I wasn't getting any. So Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, good 8 hours of sleep each time, if not more. And man, what a difference that makes. So highly encourage sleep. If it's not on your list of things to do, I will always make a plug for that. Helen checks in from cold Oklahoma. Very nice. Oklahoma's cold. That's not good. That's not good at all. Let's see who else I missed a couple here as we popped in. So we got Maggie, got you, got Leah's here. Dina, howdy. Dina shared some pictures of in chat this evening tonight of some amazing progress. So Dina, congrats to you and your whole family. Very exciting. Susan checks in from California. Helen confirms that it's 28 degrees in Oklahoma. So yeah, Oklahoma is now off the list of places to visit. Lori is here, or to live, I should say. Lori's here. Pam checking in from Colorado Springs. Connie from Ohio, good evening. Let's see. Janice from Bloomington, good evening. Diane checking in from Florida on a little vacation. Can't wait for you to come back. Amy is from Omaha, good evening to you. Kathleen says, can't wait for DC. Me too. Finally booked airline tickets today, booked hotel today. So DC is a go. It always has been. It really is a go now. For those of you who are unaware, I'm speaking at the Food Nutrition Conference and Expo on Sunday, October 21st at 1:30. We're doing a session entitled The Military Crisis, the Link Between Obesity and National Security. Not sure if you're following along that detail, but a group of retired generals just released an amazing report called, I forget what it's called anyways, but in essence, the gist was that obesity is threatening our national security, meaning that roughly a third of American children are unable to serve in the military because of obesity, and so they're aiming to get the kids more active and get kids more healthy, which is a great strategy. And then of course I'll fill in the gap in Operation Fat Dag and take care of the current members who are serving, so that the two of us can meet in the middle. So that's what our topic will be in DC coming up on Sunday. So if you're in DC and you're going to the Food Nutrition Conference and Expo, please stop in. If you're not currently registered for that expo, I get it. I looked at it. It's super duper expensive. But if that's your field of study, then I guess it absolutely is worth it for you in that regard. So very fun. So yeah, Kathleen, I'm with you. So anyway, so that's why I'm coming to DC, and then Saturday before, we will gather together. I'll push out one more email with some final instructions. If you have them, great. You know the deal. The space on this one is limited, so if you haven't already signed up to let us know you're going, you please need to do that, so that we have enough room for everybody till we know you're there. But Saturday morning, I will be there an hour before the start time, and I'll hang out for a little bit after. I want to get over to the conference as well in the afternoon. So Saturday may be a quick event, but I'll hang out for quite a bit, I'm sure. Let's see. Catherine says, great to see you. Great to see you as well. It's always fun when we get a chance to hang out together. I think that's the best part of this journey for me is this one-on-one interaction, I should say. Really, it's just what I was looking for throughout my journey. So it's good to continue to have it. See, Pamela says, hi everyone. Won't be able to stay on long. Just wanted to say hi. Well, hello. Sharon says, long time no see. Lee says, non-skill victory 8 1/3, not the whole package of Jack Daniel's pulled chicken. Very good. Colette is here. Good evening to you. Cedar Rapids, Iowa checks in. Rebecca, good evening to you. Let's see. Renee is here from Lake Elsinore, California. Renee, I'm not sure how I missed it, but I missed it. I was digging in my inbox tonight. I saw a couple emails from you from a while back. Back when you made Lifetime, I believe. So if I missed it, then congrats again on that. So in California, Melody checks in. Good evening to you. Linda is here. Lori says my sleep score stinks lately. Yeah, sleep is important. Chesterton, Carrie checks in. Good evening to you. Judy checks in. Hello. Karen is here. Marsha's here. Rita is here. Good evening. Jamie says, hi everyone. Hope you caught last night's Pats game, Mike. You know, Jamie, I went to bed last night, still working on sleep goals. So I went to bed at halftime when the Pats were up. I forget what the halftime score was, but it looked like it was going to be an easy win for the Patriots. So I went to bed and I woke up this morning and somewhere in the middle of the day, I finally figured out what the score was, 43-40, which sounds like a great game. I decided a long time ago that there are certain things in my life that are a priority. Football is entertainment for me. When it quits being entertaining, or if I have other things to do, I shuttle off and go to bed. So I can't stay up till midnight watching a football game. It doesn't work. So Linda checks in from Indiana. Good evening to you. Let's see, Karen from Long Island, vacationing in Disney as well. Karen and Diane are both at Disney. I don't know if you guys are running into each other or not. Hopefully you are. Man, that'd be kind of fun. Let's see. Lisa's at my neuropsych group meetings. We talked about sleep and it's important. A few years ago, the topic, man, the see more button still doesn't work, does it? Man, I wish Facebook would fix that. Anyway, Colorado Springs, Becky's checks in. Good evening to you. Let's see who else we have here. Corinne is saying hi to Marsha. Got you. Let's see. Did I miss Daisy? Very fun. Renee, thanks for that. Let's see. I'm going to rock DC. I'm excited about DC. I really am. I'm excited on a couple different levels, and one, this will be the largest audience I've had a chance to speak to on this specific topic, so I'm excited about that. But more so, I'm excited about getting the message out. We're part of a larger presentation where we're really going to fix this, and that's the exciting thing for me. So, Atlanta checks in over on Instagram. Good evening to you. Renee asked if I got a haircut. I always get a haircut. I get a haircut every 3 or 4 weeks or so, whenever it's time and it's due. So yeah, for sure I did. Let's see. Diane's coming back tomorrow night. Very cool. Let's see. Scrolling through. Ann says hello from Mississippi. Good evening to you. Good to see you again. Man, Ann, right there on my bib from the Gulf Coast Running Club is when Ann and I first met for the very first time. Such a fun, I'll be honest with you. So here we are now, that was in April. And so here we are in October. I've run a 5K or walked a 5K or hung out with you guys for a 5K every month. DC, I've already purchased the tickets, and the very last one will be San Francisco. I'm going to be pretty thrilled if I make it to San Francisco. Meaning, I'm planning on going. There's no reason I'm not going, but to be able to commit to that and make that happen is just it's a kind of a surreal experience. And the amount of people that I've met and how awesome all of you are along the way, super duper exciting for me. So I'm really really excited to get San Francisco done, obviously DC done, and then start looking at 2019, figuring out what that looks like and who pays for it. So obviously looking in the sponsor realm for sponsors to help cover that cost. So that'll be a big. Having the data from this year will certainly help as I talk with different companies who are interested in help supporting our cause. So that'll be kind of neat. But Ann, good to see you. Minneapolis, Melissa checks in. Let's see. Lee has 285 blue dots this year. Excellent. Let's see. Bev says, yes, sleep was very important to me this Friday afternoon. You were up so late with my sister in the ER. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's the hard thing about this journey, right? Is that life just comes in and you do have to kind of adjust. And so hopefully, prayers go to you and hopefully all is well. I don't know the details, but Liz Beth Ann on Instagram is asking, waiting for the San Francisco details. So one of the things that I've done is I do one at a time. And I get on your end, it's not as fun because now you're waiting for me to get to it. But I want to make sure I get one done, cross that off, and then I start planning the next one. So, not exactly the way I want to do it, but I just don't want to commit to something and have you commit to something that neither one of us can do. So I wait until I'm 100% certain that I can commit to it, and then I push the details out. So go to fatdag.com. You can certainly register, and you will get the emails as I release them for sure. Let's see, Lydia, let's see, no, I got you. Nora from South Carolina, present and accounted for. Good evening to you. Very fun. Let's see, Anna is here. Good evening. Patty is saying hi to Diane. Let's see, Bedford, Ohio. Luis checks in. Cheryl from Virginia. Chrissy from Connecticut. Good evening to you. Cheryl saying hi, Daisy. I don't know if Daisy's here. Very fun. I haven't seen Daisy yet, but we have to say hi to her just in case I missed her, right? So, let's see, scrolling through. Patty checks in from Baltimore. Good evening to you. Renee says he acknowledged me. Cool. I try and acknowledge, the opening part of the show is about connecting one-on-one. That's the whole point. And, it's hard to do it for sure, but that's why, I could just record the show and move on, but I want to spend a minute or 2 or 10 just saying hi. I guess we're at 12 now, but just saying hi, checking in. And then in a couple minutes, we'll actually record the show. And then once I get the show recorded, it's hard for me to interact. And then we interact after. Denise, good evening on YouTube. Bev is saying Phoenix in 2019. I've heard that more than once. That, you never know. Rolling Meadows, Illinois, good evening. Let's see. Lori says the Seymour works for me. It doesn't work for me when I click on it. It's crazy. Good. Bev says her sister is doing better. She's back home. So that's a relief for sure. Paoli, Indiana checks in. So Peg, good evening. Good to see you again. And then how do you pronounce that? Willa, how do you pronounce that? Elira, Ohio? No idea. Maria from New Jersey, good evening. Nora saying, please ask my husband to quit talking so I can hear you. Nora's husband, knock it off. We got stuff to do here. I don't know what your thoughts are and what you're doing, but I'm telling you, this is important stuff. And if you're not quiet, no one's going to be able to hear this. So what I need you to do, I need you to go sit down, be quiet, so we can get through this. How is that, Nora? Did that work? Let's see. Jennifer checks in from New Hampshire, Minneapolis. I know Minneapolis is begging quite well. Corey, I got to build a calendar. So I truly, I say this all the time, right? I got to build a calendar. I've got to figure out a better way to cover the expense. I'll be brutally honest there. So it may be a lot more driving in 2019. So very fun. Pamela says this is the part that makes it a community, not just a show. Exactly. So Renee says Phoenix in 2019 would be awesome. I agree. You never know. Bev says Mike cracks me up. Chicago suburbs 2019. Isn't Indianapolis a suburb of Chicago? I know Liz is on Instagram is saying Nora's husband, sit down. Is that right? Sit down and be quiet. Right. Shh, be quiet. We got stuff to do here, folks. Jamie said that's why I wear earbuds. Otherwise, my husband will talk to me the entire time. So see, my family is awesome. They're upstairs, quiet. You know, they have very explicit instructions when we come to the live show. You got to go upstairs. You got to close the doors. You got to be quiet and no using the Wi-Fi. I'm sure they're probably breaking that rule right now. So, Linda, good night. Get a good night's sleep. That's important. Very fun. Let's see. Lori said Warner Robins would be great in February. It's convenient and close to Atlanta. So no, I promise you that's not going to happen. Atlanta is on the hook, but I don't believe I'll be able to do Atlanta and Warner Robins in the same day, obviously. So it'll be February in Atlanta is the plan. You know, I won't commit to it. You know that, right? But February 24th is kind of the weekend that I'll be in Atlanta. Terry, good evening to you. See, Kelly from Sarasota, good evening to you. Look at that. Marie says, I have the house to myself. Mine is shooting pool on Monday nights. Very nice. Very nice. Becky says, took a walk after Mundag. Made a step goal for the first time in a while. Yeah, I'm killing it on steps today. Let's see. Yeah, for me, right? Let's see. 9,801.16 is what I have for steps today. So, whew, that's good. All right. Kathleen said I vote for Raleigh 2019, and then Beth says she's over her step goal. Cool. All right, let's do this. Let's get episode 226 recorded. Always fun to hang out with you guys, but I think we are here to get a show done. So LA says, again, that's the hard thing about you Instagrams. I can't tell your usernames, but 224 Atlanta makes the international tour. That is the tentative plan. I have to come to Atlanta for the NASCAR race on that Sunday. So whatever I think it's the 23rd maybe is February, is the Saturday. It'll be that Saturday morning. We'll do something in the area. Laura, got it. Very cool. Thanks for that. All right, let's do this. Let's see. Lisa's 227. Yeah, let's do that real quick before I do. Tell me how many steps you have today. Right now, look at your step tracker, type it in. I'm curious. You do that while I get everything prepped, and then we'll come back. But yeah, I'm at 9,800 or so. So that's a good day for me. A typical day for me is 4,000. To be honest with you, you guys know that. I'm not a big stepper. So very cool. Rebecca is been low on steps thanks to Mother Nature. Yeah, that certainly happens. Let's see. Anna says 4,000 steps. Fort Worth, Lene, good evening. So let's see. All right, cool. You guys are typing in your steps. I'm going to get the microphone ready. Test. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Looks like that looks good. Get this guy going. Marcia, are you on? Did I miss Marcia earlier? Marcia, is the audio better on Facebook? I guess the last time we did a Facebook show, you guys said the audio on Facebook was low. Janine, how do you have 10,675 steps? What did you do all day? You're a kindergarten teacher. That's right. Kindergarten teachers they don't count in this because they get steps all day long. For some reason, I thought you were still off today. I don't know why, because I was off. I thought you were off, but cool. Yeah, Janine still beating me on steps. Man, girl's awesome. She's awesome. Anyway, so Marcia, you're here. I know, Janine. Sorry. Yeah, no, she's up there though. It's like right up there. I can almost see. Nope. Anyway, Marcia, sound is better. Yeah. So what I had to do last week, it was. So for those of you, I have a phone here that's doing Instagram. I have an iPad here that's doing Facebook, and then I have a iPhone here that's doing YouTube. So we have 3 of those. And what happened last week is this microphone. There's a microphone right here that Instagram just was able to see. Anyway, there's a microphone right there. That microphone plugs into the iPad. So if I click on that, you guys can hear it through Facebook, but the other folks can't hear it. But anyway, so long story short, that microphone, the iPad, this iPhone was dead, so I had to move the power to there. So anyway, long story short, I get the microphone back over to Facebook. Whew. Way more than you need to know. All right, cheers. You got your water ready? Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Boston, Diane checking in. Woohoo! All right, let's get that recording. Cheers. Woohoo! All right, let's do this. All right, so episode 227. Here we go. Let's see. Auntie Shell says, I did not go to the gym today. My excuse today, raining and too cold. That's an excuse for right. It is. I've heard people say when it comes to exercise and working out outdoors, there's no such thing as bad weather. There's only bad clothing choices for the weather. So that was a rule that I learned long ago, and it kind of reframed my brain. It's like, you know what? You're right, is you can run in any weather. So now we just want to make sure that we just dress appropriately. So, that's it. Woo! All right, let's see if my voice holds out. I'm somewhat coming down with a cold, which is not good either. But all right. Are you ready? Episode 227. Let's do this. Renee says, no excuses with Fat Dag. I learned that rule. Yeah, there's no excuses. You either do or you don't. But don't make excuses for it. If you don't want to go, don't go. But blaming the weather, something you have no control over? No. To go to a gym, which is indoors? No more excuses. Get it done. Here we go. Let's do this. We're recording. Thanks for the reminder to make sure that I'm recording, because the last couple times I didn't record, which, as you know, makes it very, very crazy. Franny says, getting gloves on now. Cold, yep. I ran last winter or the winter before, in January. It was like -6 degrees. It was snowing, and I still went for a run for a mile, almost a couple miles. With the right gear, it's doable. So, and Jennifer, I agree with you. Running in the cold is awesome. It certainly helps with endurance once you build up it hurts my lungs until I get accustomed to it. So, very cool. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Big deep breath. Lee has his AC on. We have the heat on here. Yeah. Ooh. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together, because I believe in you. Well, hello, welcome to episode 227 of WhysAdvice. And I'm not sure how closely you're following along, but I open every single show by letting you know I believe in you. I think that's probably one of the most critical things we can learn on this journey, is that there are other people who understand what this journey is about, and they've done it. They've been able to have the success, and they turn around and remind you that they're just regular people. So therefore, if they can do it, you can do it. And so as I did it and continue to do it, I know that you can do it. The things I got going on in my life are just as crazy as the things you have going on in your life, but I found a way to make this the priority, and that's why I believe in you. And when you believe in yourself, that's when the magic happens. Up until that point, you certainly can rely on my belief for you and the community's belief for you. Our Facebook group is incredible, the WhysWingman.com. If you haven't joined in there, please do. It's an amazing group of folks who just believe in each other. And, it's funny, I've been in a lot of Facebook groups, and, I think in the time that we've had this community, maybe one, maybe two posts total have been reported and removed. The rest is just full of positivity of people getting it done. And so always appreciate you guys being there in the group. Always enjoy, again, hanging out with you live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram, and of course we're live on YouTube as well. If you follow the show on Twitter at the WhysAdvice handle, I let you know exactly when the show is going to happen. It auto tweets for me. It lets you know when the show is going to be. It gives you a 15-minute reminder, and then it tweets out at the exact moment that I hit play. And so what I do is I actually I'm ready, and I wait for that tweet to auto tweet, and then as soon as it does, I hit live on all the devices. So that's the best way to find out when the show is. Go to Twitter /WhysAdvice. Follow that account. Turn notifications on. You'll not miss a single episode live. We like to hang out as a community in the live show. Gives us a chance to kind of catch up, see how everyone's doing, and really, truly dive in before we get there. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being a part of the show. I want to open up this show with Anna's email. I asked you to write down your why. I go through the 5 questions that I've developed and said, do you believe you can do this? And what are you expecting to get out of this journey? And what's in your way? And what's the hardest thing you've ever done? And who is responsible for your success? Those questions are instrumental in helping you develop your why. So a couple episodes ago, I asked you to answer those questions so that we could walk through it with you. I started doing some phone calls with individuals and said, let's walk through this, together, and spend about an hour or so on the phone. And that's incredibly valuable. But I want to take your email that you sent in, and I want to kind of do an online version of it. And we did it in the last episode. We're going to do it in this episode again. Anna writes in, and I said, Anna, what are you expecting to get out of this journey? Like for real, like when you joined, what were your expectations? Were your expectations just to kind of walk into the room and hang out, or did you have greater expectations for the program? And so question 1 is, what are you expecting to get out of this journey? Now, if you're following along at home, you should probably have a pen at this point. If you're driving, please don't write this down. Continue to drive, maybe listen to it again later. But when I ask, what are you expecting to get out of this journey? Anna says, well, I feel like I'm destined to be a fatty all my life. Like maybe I don't deserve to be beautiful, but I am really hoping to become a more healthy person, mind and body, and to get a handle on this weight and food emotional issue. It's a mind, body, soul thing for me, not just weight loss. Number 2 I ask is, Anna, do you believe you can do this? And so I don't think I do. But I'm determined not to give up ever. I follow up with the next question is well, then what's in your way? What's stopping you from being the greatest version of you? What's stopping you from having the success that you know you're capable of? Anna writes in, says, well, the lack of focus and planning is my spurges. Having to think not just about what I'm going to eat, but also what the other 3 people are going to eat and like in my home. Man, if I could just feed myself, it would take off all of the pressure. I asked her, what is the hardest thing you've ever done in your life? And she said, well, being 9 months pregnant in July in Georgia. Is this harder or easier? And she said, well, this is easier, but longer. I've been on Weight Watchers this time for 3 years, and I've lost a total of 18 pounds. And I asked the last question is who is responsible for your success? And me, I'm the only one responsible for me, my life, and my happiness. Anna. So Anna, great effort putting this down, and I want to dig a little deeper here, and here's where I want to take this. When I ask you these 5 questions, I'm asking for a reason. What I want to do is I want you to grab a pen, I want you to grab a paper, I want you to dig into the creative part of your brain and really tune everything else out. As you put pen to paper, as you start writing things down, you start getting a little more detailed. I want you to spend some time with these questions. And so when I ask you, what are you expecting to get out of this journey? You feel like you're destined to be a fatty your whole life. Well, you know that's not true. You absolutely know that's not true. And I want you to strike that from any sort of memory that you ever have, because no, dang it, that is not true. You are not destined to be fat your entire life. You have the ability to take control. You have the ability to move forward, and we're working on doing that, and you're actually doing it. You absolutely do deserve to be beautiful. You can make that decision now, and that decision now is you internally owning it and saying, I am beautiful now, and just actually doing it. It's simply that simple. You follow up with, but I'm really hoping to become a more healthy person, mind, body, and soul. Well, as we know, this has nothing to do with hope. I opened the show with that, or end the show with that, I should say. If hope is part of your equation, I want you to take a minute to think about that. Think of all the things that you hoped would happen throughout your entire life. Think of things that you want to have happen. If you hope for them, they don't happen. You actually have to do them, right? You can't just sit there and hope to buy a house. You actually have to go to work. You have to get a job. You have to save some money. You have to meet with a realtor. You have to start looking at homes. You have to find the home that's right for you. You have to maybe apply for a mortgage. None of that is hope, right? Hope is someone handing it to you. That's not going to happen. This journey is not going to be handed to you. You have to get out every single day and go after it. Get rid of the hope. Get rid of the I wishes. Get rid of the I wants. And go get and grab the determination. Grab that mental toughness that it takes to actually do. You're absolutely right. It is a mind and a body and soul thing. Has nothing to do with weight loss. Once you get your mind right, so many other things start falling into place. And so weight loss is one of them. You can get your finances in order. You can get your job in order. You can get a project that you're managing in order. But you've got to give it that mental grit, that mental toughness where you know that you want this more than anything. When I asked you if you believed you can do it, and you were honest, and you said, I don't think I can. And as you know, when I asked the question to you, is if when I ask you if you believe you can do it, if you hesitate, if you pause, even for the slightest, and you don't give an immediate yes, then that's okay. It just means at this moment, you just don't believe that you can do it. And so what I want you to do is I said this before, I want you to go back and find things that you can believe in. Go back to the simplest thing that you know and say, I believe I can do that. And when you find that, you build on it. This journey is daunting. It does take a lot out of us in that sense. And so the mental toughness required, it may come at a sacrifice early on of you not believing is possible. But there are things that you do believe. And those things that you do believe add up to this belief that you can get this done. And that's what I want you to focus on. That lack of focus that's kind of in your way and planning a specific spurge that you're actually working against yourself. So you have the capability to plan. You can track like it's day one. You can get in there and you can own this program from the very beginning. It takes you making out a plan and saying, I know what I need. I know what the roadmaps are to get there. I've been handed a tool set. Use the tool set, follow the tool set, and get there. Now, of course, it would be much easier if everyone in the house ate exactly what you made every single night. I get that. You should be wanting as a family to eat healthy anyway, so that should make it a little easier. Oftentimes, it comes down to portion control. And so as you plan a meal for everybody, you can certainly add in things that are healthier. You can certainly make the meal more delicious and point friendly. And then you have to kind of just modify, the quantity to get it done. Add some protein into your diet and do that. And so as you now think about, what I kind of want you to do a little more research and homework on the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. And, of course, I've never been 9 months pregnant in July. I've certainly been extremely overweight in July in Georgia, and that's not fun either. So I surmise that it's probably similar in nature, but certainly not being pregnant in July. I don't have any depth to draw from. But so here you are, 3 years, and you've lost a total of 18 pounds. Let's celebrate that. First of all, 18 pounds is a significant accomplishment. I don't care where you are in your weight loss journey, 3 years, 10 years, 50 years, 2 months, 18 pounds is legitimate work. What I want you to take from this, I want you to understand that you did that. That didn't happen by accident. That didn't happen by you hoping it would happen. At some point along the way, you have modified things in your life to make a change to do that. So now you've proven to yourself that you can do it. And what I want you to do is I want you to take the mental strength that it took to be 9 months pregnant in July and get through that. You didn't really have a choice in the matter, right? I mean, at some point you couldn't just, you couldn't just do anything about it. You couldn't unbe pregnant instantly, right? So you had to actually endure that, and you had to use your mental strength to say, I have to do this. I'm going to do this. And so now here you are 3 years into this journey, and I want you to take that same mental strength that you took and say, I have to do this. I have got to do this. I have got to get focused. I have got to dial into the plan. I have got to say, I want this more than anything. When you finally do that and you truly recognize and understand that you are responsible, you're responsible for your journey. I can't do it for you. The Wise Wingman Facebook group is an amazing group. We can't do it for you. We can't follow you around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, monitor what you're eating, monitor your exercise level, monitor whatever activity you're doing. We can't do that. You have to do that. As you listen to the show, as you find inspiration, I want you to use that and draw from it. But I know as soon as the episode ends, it's up to you. It's up to you to make the choice. And so what I want you to do is I want you to take the plan that you begin. I want you to pretend it's day one. You're in a battle for your life here. For the rest of your life, this is what I want you to focus on, and you have to make this the priority. You have to commit to it. You have to, I'm going to get a little hard on you here for just a second, is that, for 3 years, you haven't truly committed. My guess is that if you were truly had been doing this for 3 years, every day, committed 100% to it, then you would be in a much different place. And so what I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself honestly, if you've been doing this 3 straight years consistently, every meal, every day, if the answer to that is no, then what I want you to do is I want you to devise a plan that does that. I want you to dig in harder than you've ever dug in. And I want you to go get it, because you are destined to be awesome. You're destined to be awesome, and that's a gift that you can give yourself now, and I want you to celebrate with doing that. So Anna, thank you so much for writing in and sharing your why, the 5 questions of your why. I want you to take a little bit more time and dig a little deeper into that. Rewrite as much as you need to, and get it done. So keep up the amazing work. So out of Orange County, California, Julie writes in, and same thing. I asked 5 questions, and she opens the email with, well, hi Mike, well, we meet again. Well, you've always been with me, a voice in my head, a reminder of support and encouragement and strength. My problem is I lost the focus to pay attention and really listen. I've allowed mountains and mountains of stress and feelings of being overwhelmed and tired silence the voice of positivity. I've lost focus. I believed I could reach goal. Lately, I'm not so sure. I've gained 1/3 of my weight back. I'm struggling and I'm drowning, and I've lost the will to fight. Well, it's just so easy to give into food and to numb the feelings, to get lazy about exercise and tracking, and the discipline to say no to myself. What's in my way? Well, I'm guessing that what's in the way is stress of the days in and outs of life. Financial stress, work stress, worries about the kids and how they're doing and if they'll always be okay. My daughter having a disability and worrying about her future, wanting what's best for her. Sometimes I feel selfish for taking time for myself. The hardest thing I've ever done in my life, will this be harder and easier than that? And the hardest thing I've ever done is also the easiest at the same time. It's to raise my daughter, worrying about her, sheltering her, empowering her to the point that she's now a college student who wants to be a disabilities rights advocate. I am humbled and proud of her. I know I taught her to be a fighter. I know I'm the only one responsible for my success, and that there will always be stressful times. I have to be stronger and more resilient than the worst of those days. I have to matter enough to myself. We all do. Currently, my weight is up. My clothes are tight. My blood work is off a little. But I'm healthy. My kids are healthy. My husband is healthy. So I know we are very blessed. How do I reclaim the discipline that I once had? thank you. Thank you, Mike, for all that you do, for all that you help, for all whom you help and inspire. And thank you, Mike, for being my wingman. Out of Orange County, California, Julie. So, Julie, a little homework here as well for you. And so, the voice of positivity has to be in the front of your brain at all times. You have to take every single opportunity to find the positive in everything that's going on in your life. Boy, it's hard to find them sometimes. I understand that. There are things that just come at you like a ton of bricks, and trying to find the positive in it, certainly not easy. But it becomes easier the more we do it. And one of the things I've done in the past to kind of help see those things is grab a dry erase marker, and I wake up every single morning, and I write on my bathroom mirror what I'm thankful for from the day before, and what I'm happy about, what I'm proud about. And as I started off, I would write simple things like I'm happy that I have a roof over my head. I'm happy that I have electricity. And as I started adding to the list, I had to really spend the day looking for things to be happy about. And so when you start making the actual physical list, you then have to then start taking an inventory, and that voice of positivity will then start to grow. You have to kind of develop that muscle in yourself. Losing focus and not being able to pay attention, it's there. It's true for many of us. But what I want you to do is I want you to get deliberate in the attempt to find the positive things going on in your life. You're obviously, gaining back a third of your weight, which means you're still down 2/3 of the way. Congratulations on that. That's an amazing accomplishment. I want you to be very proud of that accomplishment. I want you to be very proud of the work that it took to get there. I want you to be very proud of every time you said, no, I have bigger goals, and you went towards them and got it done. And so when you first started this journey, you believed, and that belief carried you through and got you down to wherever you were headed. What's changed? What happened in your life where now all of a sudden that belief dissipates? You've proven you can do it. You've even documented that you can do it. You don't have to, the losing the will to fight is simply a lack of focus. It's a lack of commitment. It's a lack of you saying, I want to do this. Do you want to do this? Is this what you're destined for? And the answer clearly is yes. And so as things get in the way, your day, as you kind of summarized your day, I think a lot of us can relate to that. That's the beauty of this group, is that we have the opportunity to see that we are not alone in this journey. And so financial stress, work stress, worrying about the kids, yeah, I get all of that, So what I want you to do is I want you to take this journey one step further for you, and I want you to kind of just get organized with your life. Right now, you're just going day to day trying to get through it. I want you to get deliberate. I want you to get organized. I want you to make a plan for everything that you're working on. I want you to have a plan for it. Do the things that are deliberate. Do the things that move you towards your goal. Ignore the things that do not. That is how you're going to do this. And as you dig into, teaching your daughter how to be a fighter, and finding out what the hardest thing you had to do is raise a child, that's not easy. And you did it. Where did that internal strength come from? And as you know where it came from, all you do is use that same internal strength to apply it to something else. Being responsible for your success is all you. Yes, you're healthy. Yes, your kids are healthy. Celebrate that for sure. Yes, you're absolutely blessed. But that discipline that got you started is all goes back to why. Why are you doing this? And as you started your email, I asked you, what are you expecting to get out of this journey? Like, what's your expectation? What do you want to accomplish? That's what you have to focus on as you go through this process. So you have to start the goal. You've heard Steve Jobs say this, or I think it's Steve Jobs, right? Begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey, maybe, I think is what it was. Begin with the end in mind. So what is your end result? What is your end goal? What do you want to accomplish out of this? And then how am I going to do it? But that what I want, you're absolutely capable of getting after. And so it's got to be more than just being a little bit healthy. It's got to be more than just having the kids healthy. It's got to be more about my clothes fitting good, my blood work being perfect, or as perfect as it can get. Because every one of us at some point, once we started giving up those health benefits, you can reclaim some of them, but you really have to go out and do this. So, Julie, what is it that you want? I want you to say it out loud right now. What is it that you want? Keep repeating it. Keep saying it until you devise a plan to go after and get it done. So keep up the amazing work. Thank you for sharing your story. Thanks for writing in and being part of the community. The community's behind you. You know we can get this done. And the next email comes in from Claudia. And I asked Claudia, what are you expecting to get out of the journey? I'm expecting to be thinner, to fit into my clothing better, and to feel better physically and emotionally. I believe I can do it. I reached lifetime in March, so I know I can lose. I am more concerned about maintaining because that seems like a bigger challenge for me. When I asked Claudia, what's in your way? She said, I just really like mass quantities of sweet foods. I find it easier to completely abandon sweets than to monitor portion sizes. I think this makes me feel deprived. However, once I get started on sweets, I really have no sense as to when to be done. If I have access to a cup of ice cream, I eat a cup of ice cream. If I have access to a gallon, well, that's how much I eat. I really, really do like the stuff. What's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life? Well, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life might actually be to stay focused long enough to lose 80 pounds. It took me about 15 months to reach goal. And I asked, will this be harder than that? Well, yes, I think keeping the weight off will be harder than losing it, because the losing part had an end date when I met goal. Maintaining is a never-ending battle. I see no end to the fight, and it's exhausting. And I asked Claudia, who is responsible for your success? She says, I am. So she owns it and certainly does that. So Claudia, let's go back to what are you expecting out of this journey? And so I want you to elaborate here. When we say I'm expecting to be thinner, to fit into my clothing better, and to feel better physically and emotionally, what does that mean? What do you mean when you say I want to feel better physically? What do you mean when you say I want to feel better emotionally? I want to take some time, and I want you to dig into what that means, because you have to kind of put a name to it. You have to put words behind that one simple word of feel better physically. Does feel better physically mean being able to run up a flight of stairs? Does feel better physically mean be able to run a 5K, be able to run a half marathon? Does feel better physically mean I wake up on time, energized for the day? Does feel better physically mean that I spend my entire day smiling because life is just that amazing? Does feel better emotionally? What does that mean? What does it mean to you in your journey? So folks, when I ask you these questions, I want you to give me more than just a sentence per answer, because I really want you to dig into the detail. And that's what writing it down with a pen, paper, all by yourself, that's how you do it. So Claudia, congratulations on reaching lifetime back in March. Congrats on that. You absolutely know you can do it. That is proof. That is awesome when we get to that point, because we've proven ourselves right in being able to do something. So I'm very, very proud of you. Now, I want to dispel the myth on maintenance, on lifetime. There's a couple schools of thought on this, and I want to tell you mine. I don't believe that maintaining it is harder. I just don't. I get that. I get why people do. And if you follow me on my other Twitter, on Fat Dag, I tweet out from the scale every single morning. I hop on the scale number comes out just about every single day. That number gets published. And, I gotten to the point where that's just a number to me. I know what makes it go up. I know what makes it go down. There are days where I have an amazing day with the family. I have an amazing day out and about. And there are times when I choose things that I want because I simply want them in the moment with the celebration that I'm in. I know full well the impact that's going to have to the scale. And the next morning I get on the scale anyways, because I know I weigh the same amount whether I hop on the scale or not. Nothing changes. And so I allow that to go to the community so that you guys can see that it is a fluctuation. That I believe if you're going to try and be the exact same weight to the pound for the rest of your life, yeah, that probably is a little more difficult. But when you get this thing under control, when you finally get to goal, when you finally get to lifetime, which, Claudia, you're there, when you get there, it feels different. That feeling I'm never given back. So sure, I may bounce around the number, and there are days when maybe I don't have the full feeling, but it's never so far away that I can't remember what it felt like. I can't remember what it feels like. I can't remember how awesome it is. And so that's what I want you to do is not be so concerned about this lifetime challenge. You're in this for the rest of your life. You can do this. It's simply a matter of balancing all the things you got going on in your life. Now I got to kind of give you a little nudge here, and I want to push you in the right direction with this. Is that when you've identified what's in your way, and I really just like mass quantities of sweet foods, you've identified that is a barrier to your success. I didn't ask you, you answered that question to what's in your way. So deep down, you understand that there is some conflict here. And so there's going to have to be a time where you have to start making a decision on how you want to manage this. I'll never tell you to give it up. I'll never tell you to move away from sweets altogether. I personally stay away from many of them, but that's my journey, and that's what I've chosen to do. I'm not asking you to do that because this is your journey for you to figure out. But what I can tell you is that when I found things in my journey that I knew were sabotaging me, that I knew were pushing me away from goals that I really wanted, I had to prioritize. I had to say, do I really want that, or do I want to make goal? And I couldn't have both. The two did not fit in the same sentence. There's so many things in life that I really, really like. I would love to never pay my bills and just keep all my paycheck to myself, right? I would love to, I can't think of something else, but there's so many things that I would love to do that just don't align with the rest of the goals that I have in life. I'd love to not go to work in the morning. I would love to quit going to work and still live the quality of life that I'm living now. But the goal I have to have this quality of life requires an income. That income requires me to go to work. So when I've identified things that sabotage me along the way, I have to then figure out what is the most important thing. And when I find out what's the most important, I put all my focus and energy on that, and I go do that. And I make that the priority. Now, just a quick tip as you go through this process, and as you don't have the sense of when to be done, the best thing I can tell you in this scenario is start limiting yourself to a single serving. The point values matter, everything else matters, but measure out a single serving. Every single container tells you what an actual serving size is, and so start by having a serving of it. Do it this way. Bring out the ice cream dish, put it in a dish, and then put the ice cream back in the freezer before you go and have before you have the treat. Measure out a single serving so that you know the quantity that you're getting, and then truly enjoy it. And you can do this. And so congratulations on losing 80 pounds. You've proven that you can do this. You've proven that this is completely doable. You showed so many people the journey and the opportunity to get it done. I want you to be proud of that fact. I want to be proud of everything you did in that sense, because you did it. And so you now have that confidence to know that not only did you do it, that you can always repeat it. You can continue to do it if you just stay focused on what it is the goal is. This absolutely is, losing weight is hard. I used to say it's not hard, but I kind of want to reframe how I word it. And so I don't believe it's difficult in that sense, right? Or I don't believe it's hard. I believe it's difficult, I guess is what I want to say. And you can use whatever words you want in that sense. But what I'm getting at is this just takes your effort. What's hard is pushing all the effort towards this as an end result. That's what's hard. So what I want you to do is I want you to apply that same focus to the rest of your lifetime journey and not make it harder than it has to be. Simply enjoy it and say, you know what, I've done this. I can maintain this, and give yourself permission and a latitude to have a range that you're comfortable with. Have some triggers that that what your trigger points are. Adjust them as you go through, but always evaluating where you are every single day and knowing that you are successful because you put the focus, energy, and effort into this. So many people are afraid of lifetime. And I almost wonder if that's what stops a lot of us, is that we hear so many times that, oh, the maintenance is harder and lifetime is harder. And so therefore, knowing the effort we put through to get to goal, we don't even want to get to lifetime because it just seems so much more difficult. I'm here to tell you it's way more impressive. I'm so much happier at lifetime than I ever was losing weight. Losing weight, I had the scale reminding me I was doing great. I had people reminding me that I was doing well. I had people telling me I looked great. That was a fun feedback mechanism. But I tell you, I feel significantly better now than I ever have, because I now understand that this lifetime journey is giving me a lifetime. That's kind of the celebration. So, the journey is hard enough. Don't make it any harder by putting words into the equation that may or may not be valid. So, Claudia, thank you for your email. Thanks for chiming in, and keep up the amazing work. Congrats on lifetime and getting it done. The last email comes in from Lindsay. You may recognize Lindsay from an earlier episode. She goes, "Hey, Mike, it's Lindsay again. Let me paint you a picture while I take a break from painting pictures." So this past Wednesday, I was in my kitchen catching up on the last few episodes of WhysAdvice. I had missed them while I worked. Then I hear a mention of episode 210, the one where you yelled at me a bit. Well, hearing that episode helped someone made my heart happy. Then it broke a little because I'm still struggling to find my focus. I finished a sign or two, and then the next episode rolls, and Lisa mentions it in her email when she started to share her story. I was already emotional, and then she mentions me and says she believes in me too. Next thing you know, I'm sitting on my kitchen floor, leaning against my dishwasher, just losing it. I was trying to catch my breath. I was so upset, so angry at myself. I am working so much, I'm struggling to put myself first. After episode 210, I answered the 5 questions, then I rewrote my why. A strong enough to make me cry, but I still can't seem to get my act together. I started tracking again. Well, tracking 95%, but that 5% was the junk that I shouldn't be having. But I grabbed it because I'm in a hurry, so after our meeting last week, I went back to prepping the quick snacks that were low in points. I boiled eggs, I cleaned grapes and strawberries and such, and I made sure I had 1 point string cheese ready to grab and go. Yum! I started making crock pot meals the way that I could spend that way I could spend the extra time working or doing something for me. This week has been better, but not great, but better. And now, most importantly, I am tracking the 5% that I was ignoring. I'll get there. I am not giving up. So as you know, I had to quit the gym. Such a bummer. That was my time. It helped me put myself first at 5 a.m. and keep that momentum all day. I missed it, but this past week, a friend reached out and told me that Burn Boot Camp was having a promotion again that I could sign up for. I don't know if you remember me mentioning doing this months ago, but I really loved it, but I also could not afford to do it full time. My mom offered to sign me up for this 6-week challenge, so I'm going to spend the next 6 weeks focusing on me, and hopefully getting my groove back. I'm so excited for my first camp. I will be in early Tuesday, though. I may be in need of a hug. I can do this. I believe in me, but I need to make me a priority again. It's easier said than done. Thanks, Mike, for the continued hand-holding. I appreciate it so much. If you read this on the air, send my love to my wing people. See you Tuesday, Lindsay. Lindsay, come on, you got this. You know that. You're incredibly strong. What you've done throughout this process is absolutely amazing. You've shown some great success. That all comes from that believing in you, and here you are now, maybe at a point where maybe that belief is turning to slight doubt. You're at that pivotal point in this journey where you have to decide what it is you're after. So, and what I mean by that is there comes a point in this weight loss journey, it happened for me, where we're afraid of this new identity that maybe we're creating. We're afraid of becoming somebody that we haven't been in years, at least by the size of us. And so that does become frightening at some point. And so many times that transformation prohibits us from breaking through into a new ground. I want you to do that. And here's how I want you to get there, Lindsay. I want you to understand that tracking is the key to success. You have to teach yourself how to get this done. You have to teach yourself how to make it work for you. And as you do that, you have to teach yourself properly. You have to give it your all. Every single bit. You have to really, really get to the point where you are doing what you need to do for you. And so that means 100%. That means you have to give up that last 5% and go all in on this. That's the secret. The secret is you have to say, I want this. And if you want it 95%, that 95% is solid. That 95% will carry you midway through your journey. That last 5% is the power. That last 5% is where the magic really happens. Quit being angry at yourself. Don't be upset that it's not working for you. Don't be upset that you're not working it and that you're feeling like you're struggling to put yourself first. Don't be upset with yourself. Fix it. Make a plan to go, you know what? This is what I need to do. Dig all in. And so if this was your business, if this was something else in your life, you would give it your all. Why won't you give you your all? Are you worth it? You know I'm going to say you're worth it, right? But I want you to feel that you're worth it. I want you to drop a few key words out of here. I want you to drop the word struggle out of your vocabulary. It doesn't exist in this journey, in your scenario. I want you to ditch the hope. I want you to ditch the I'm trying. I want you just to go do it. You've proven that you can. You've proven time and time and time again that you know how to do this. You went right back to it. You started meal prepping again. You have those low point snacks. You boiled your eggs. You cleaned your grapes. You got your strawberries. You did that. And at some point, you slowly drifted away from that. So as you go through this process, when you realize and recognize that you're not doing that again, then that's when you have to get your focus back and say, okay, the crock-pot meals are working for me. It gives me extra free time. It gives you an opportunity to get it done. Now, getting to the gym, I understand that the financial challenge there, and it's awesome that your mom stepped up. But there's so many other things you can do. You really can really. You're just a simple step counter. You know that. Just walking around and getting it done. And so, I'm glad glad always that you wrote in and that you continue to write in. And so you know that your journey and sharing it is getting everybody else encouraged and as other people tell them that they believe in you. In a way, I'm kind of glad it broke you down. And not that I enjoy sitting and watching you sit next to your dishwasher crying it out, but what I think is cool about that, it shows that you want it. It shows that you're in it. It shows that inside of you want this. You want this more than anything. I know you do. I see it in your eye when you come into the meeting. I know you do. You know you do. It's a matter of doing it, making the plan that's going to stick to it, and get it done. You absolutely are a fighter. You're just you have that amazing opportunity to light the room up every time you open your mouth and smile in the room. You have that. Celebrate all that's going well in your life. Celebrate all that's going good in your life. Get to a gym. Get to something. That's where your energy comes from. And let's continue to celebrate every Tuesday night as you rock this thing. Lindsay, thank you for your email. Thanks for always sharing. Thanks for being a part of the Wise Wingman community. And thanks for letting us celebrate your amazing success. Folks, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Let's go to fatdag.com. Send in your, click on the Wise Advice podcast link to send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. Just always want to reiterate that the way this show works is you send email in, I read them. You don't send email in, I don't read them. It's that simple. So I want you to email in your celebrations because I want you to be proud of what you're doing. If you have questions, write them in. Let's talk about it. If you have something that you want to share that's good for the community, write it in. We'll do it. But what it takes is this entire community pulling together, rallying together, reminding each other that we're not alone. Reminding each other that no matter how much bad or how bad we have it, that we can do this. We can make choices. We can make a plan. We can set our course in the right direction. That's what this community is all about. That's why we do the show live, is so that we can kind of hang out as a group as well. It's a great community that we've built together, and I thank you all for being here. But that is going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Whoop, whoop. There we go. 227 in the books. Boom. Therese says, Lindsay, you got this. Right, all right. Rebecca says, great. Huge thanks to Julie and Lindsay for the great emails tonight. I agree. Instagram, we lost you in the middle, so sorry about that. I had to reboot, but I was able to multitask and get it done. Corinne says, Lindsay, you are working this. You will hit goal. Of course you will. Connie says, cool. Alice says, great show tonight. Thanks. It's all you being here. Thank you as well. Jane says, great letters tonight. Yep, I always agree. I certainly always encourage you to continue to share them. Like I said in the end of this show, is that you send email in, I read email. You don't send email in, I don't read email. Kind of how it goes, So keep that in mind. If you're on the fence of do I not, you do. That's kind of how it works. So Peg says, good night. Good night to you. Diane said, awesome emails. Great show. Yep. I think that's kind of the coolest thing for me is that I just continue. I got an email that I got to clean up a little bit. Somebody sent me an email that was 54,000 pages long. I'm not going to call that person out at this particular time. But we chatted back and forth about the email, all 54,000 pages of it. And I said, dude, that's a great email, but I can't read it all. And so we have some latitude for it to go, for me to creative license some of it. But I absolutely want to share it. And I really would love to share it in its entirety because it's that awesome. Maybe it's its own show, who knows? So we'll see. But the point of all that is, no, Lee, this was not you. This was not you for sure. Not this particular time. It was longer than yours, Lee. I know. Not that that's a record. Not that I'm asking you to compete. Not that I need you to kind of outdo him or her, right? But no. So, but the gist is that I read an email from an individual who's incredibly inspiring. The fact that they're even thinking about a weight loss journey with all that they've handed in the email was just incredible. So, when you get that kind of stuff, it just inspires me back, which is kind of fun. So, Maria says, thank you, Mike, for not just having the show, but making sure that it's taped this show. And I can't see, when I click see more, I can't see the rest of your comment, but Maria, you're very welcome. Yeah. So Lee says 54,001 pages coming tonight. Perfect. Let me give you my Lee. If it's going to be 54,001 pages, I have to give you a special email address. It is it's very important. Okay, make sure you grab a pen because I don't want you to miss it. Because if you send it to this email address, I promise you I'll get it and I'll put it on the air. So the email address is @.com. So send it to that email address, and I won't ever lose it. So, very cool. So if you need me to repeat it, let me know, Lee, if you didn't catch that. But that's the email address I want you to send it to. So, anyway, so send it in for sure. 54,000 pages and 1. Let's see. So Peg, yes, Peg will having a lumpectomy on Tuesday, October 30th. Prayers would be appreciated. Yes, for sure. Prayers being sent up by all means. So this is when hope comes in. This is when wishing comes in. This is when praying comes in. By all means, we wish you the best for sure. Let's see. Renee says, technically, I have 40 pounds more to lose, just being honest. I missed an earlier comment, I think. So, cool. Let's see. Scrolling through. Yeah, Lisa, that email at don'tbother.com. That's another one too. Yeah, you can certainly send it to that email address as well. But all right, let's wrap this up. It's been an hour, 70 minutes and 23 seconds to be exact. Pretty cool. That's what Instagram or YouTube is telling me. So on that note, Peg, shout out to you. Maria says anyone who writes that must be writing every minute of their life. No, it wasn't quite that long. It was just a lot of detail, it was fantastic. I mean, I truly, I'm not kidding. I loved every single sentence in that email that person sent, and I want to share it in its entirety. But it's just, it's not going to be, it's not readable in that sense. It's just, I think you would just lose, maybe, I don't know, but I want to find a way to use that because, again, it just reminds us that we're not alone on this journey, which is, I think, the coolest thing ever. So, anyway. On that note, Franny, good night to you. Thank you for being here always. Let's see. Let's do Instagram first. Let's say goodbye to the Instagram folks. Good evening to you. Thank you for being here. Keep up the amazing work. Keep up the amazing focus. You know you can do this. Go do it. I wish you could focus. All right. So Instagram is gone. Let's go to YouTube. YouTube folks, thank you for being here. Looks like I got all of you. So good night to you. Thanks again. Like I said, thanks for being here. And just like we said to Instagram, I wish you good focus. Good night.